So self-esteem is a word that we often hear thrown around. Do you have high self-esteem? And a lot of us would like to say, yes, we do. And one question I always ask people for them to determine whether or not they have high self-esteem is to say, if I was a fly on your wall and I were to follow you around and I couldn't hear you talk, I couldn't hear you talk at all. By watching your actions, by watching what you do, by watching how you allow other people to treat you, would I be able to walk away or fly away saying that you have high self-esteem? So think about that question. That's something to reflect on. And if you're an individual who knows that you struggle with self-esteem, what we're going to do today is talk about some main points, give you some tips and tools to help lift your self-esteem. So, you want to start with the first tip, Tasha?
Of course. And I struggle with self-esteem, so these tips are really going to help you guys. The first is to surround yourself with positive people. It's so important for us to recognize that we do have low self-esteem and how important it is for people to be around us that's positive, to uplift our spirits when we're feeling down, when we're feeling low, when we think we're unworthy. It's hard to be our own cheerleader at times, right? Everybody wants to, like, yes, I'm a winner, yes, but sometimes you don't feel that way. Sometimes you feel lost. Sometimes you feel like, I cannot do this again. But when you surround yourself around positive people and they see your actions, they'll be your cheerleader for you. They'll push you to make it. They'll see greatness in you. And they'll tell you, you're worthy, you're great, you're awesome. And then you'll start to believe it.
I agree with you. Not a lot of people realize how much your environment and the individuals you surround yourself with impact how you feel. So definitely a good point. So one thing I would add to that, Tasha, is social media as well. So not just who you surround yourself with in person, but also who do you follow on social media. With us being such a technology-driven society, and we have Facebook and Twitter and emails and Snapchat, we have so many different ways to access so many different individuals and gather so many different opinions. And it's really important that you be mindful of who you surround yourself with in those arenas. You know, are you only following gossip posts? Are you following people who are very negative? And not to say that you can't follow gossip or reality TV or any of those drama-driven things. Just make sure you balance it out. So just as many negative or non-emotionally stimulating posts and things you follow, make sure that you equal it out with motivational quotes or motivational individuals or spiritual things to balance it out, because we definitely want to be mindful of how often we're on social media, and two, what we're following. What are we feeding our brains?
And speaking of what are we feeding our brains, the third one is self-talk. That chitter chatter that's in your head, we have to be aware of that. All the negative things that we're saying, be aware of that and don't believe it. We have to be able to replace it with some positive things, some positive affirmations. If you don't know any, there's plenty of them. Just like she said, follow motivational people. Follow groups that motivate you to enlighten your spirit, awaken your spirit.
Motivational apps as well. I mean, apps is something that we all are downloading. You download them for music. There are lots of motivational apps out there that can keep you driven. And some of you may be thinking, well, I don't believe that stuff. So you're telling me to tell myself to keep going. You're telling me to tell myself that I'm beautiful. You're telling me to tell myself that I can make it, and I truly don't believe I can. Okay, so I'd like to introduce you to a new concept. It's called act as if. So in those moments where you feel that you totally don't like how you look or you don't feel like you can be assertive, take that moment, take a breath, and I want you to act as if you were. Yes, I know it's acting, but what happens is that introduces you. That gives you the opportunity to be in that space, and you're doing that thing that you may not believe in this moment. But remember this, feelings are temporary. It's impossible to have one feeling forever. And so though you may be down on yourself right now, though it may be hard for you to find that motivation right now, act as if will help you put those things into play. And if acting as if is a little bit too hard, start with imagining. Imagine how it would feel if you were able to accomplish that goal. Imagine how you would act felt if you really loved yourself and felt you were beautiful. Imagine what it would be like if you actually graduated from that school or got that great job. And start there. At least you're planting a seed for your brain to start to kind of think in a more positive way, a more positive direction. So, anything else you would add?
The last thing I would like to add is just try. Try these things and just show up. No matter what it is that you're doing in your life, just show up and try something new. And don't give up. Remember, everything's a process. Don't give up.